full stream ahead.
Well, it is time for our streaming quarterbacks. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give you mine. I like Alex Smith this week, okay? He faces Baltimore, a Baltimore team that's kind of done, a Baltimore team that might give Kansas City some short fields and some opportunities for Alex Smith. Macklin's been playing well, 7-game winning streak. Russell Wilson just scored 5 against Baltimore through the air. And it does seem like the running game has slowed down a little bit for Kansas City. Spencer Ware's banged up. Char West didn't have the biggest game of his career despite the matchup against San Diego. So I really like Alex Smith. Gives you a baseline in rushing yards. I got no problem with him this week if you are kind of in a, basically a non-Brady, non-stud situation.
I have a breaking news kind of hot tip for people about Ryan Fitzpatrick. He is the number 9 quarterback on the year because he is on fire. And this is a guy who's generally owned in less than half of leagues. The number 9 quarterback who is on a tear is widely available. So I'm staying in the flames with Fitzmagic. He's against Dallas. It's just I'm playing him. He's similar to Russell Wilson. If Russell Wilson wasn't doing what he has been doing, which it's 5 touchdowns every week, people would be paying a lot more attention to what Ryan Fitzpatrick has done the last 3 weeks.
I agree with you.
I've
had a lot of people ask whether to start Fitzpatrick or some really bad other options because that perception is there that Fitzpatrick is not an elite option right now.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick, he was my stream of the week as well, and so I say that.
Which I did not realize. Jason and I really like Fitzpatrick this week.
So he was mine, and I would take him over this guy. But since you took Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'm going to say if they're not available, because he is owned in near 50% of leagues, if you want a guy that I believe you can stream for high potential, I'm going to go A.J. McCarron. I actually believe that against the Niners with A.J. Green, we'll have to monitor and see if Eifert's back and Marvin Jones and the dump-offs to Gio Bernard. You've got enough potential there to have. He came in relief and put up over 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a better fantasy game without a full game against Pittsburgh, a good defense, than Alex Smith did last week, than a lot of guys did last week. So I'd say he's available in all your leagues. I am fine streaming him.
They were playing catch-up, I will throw that out, and not ketchup mustard, as in catching up to the score of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I didn't think the first one. But I was probably going to make that joke.
Yes.
So you cut me off on that.
Dad jokes.
Yeah, dad jokes.
So I don't completely disagree.
It's not the safest
McCarron
pick because you don't know, and because
you're going for glory.
That's where if Fitzpatrick and AJ McCarron is out there, I'm going to take McCarron. But if it's Jameis Winston or McCarron,
wait, did you just say if Fitzpatrick and McCarron are out there, you're taking McCarron? That's what I heard.
Oh, if that's what I said it backwards.
Okay, you're taking Fitzpatrick.
I'm taking Fitzpatrick because I think he's safer.
I can't play McCarron in the playoffs. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. If it's a 2-quarterback league, I would do it over a lot of other guys, but I'm not going to do it as my starter. It's just I don't see a situation where I could. I can't see a situation. There are leagues where guys. I will say this: there are leagues, 12-team, 14-team leagues, where the owners are grabbing 2 or 3 quarterbacks and rostering them, and then at this time you need a guy. So
I got the cojones.
Yeah, if you got the cojones, the McCarron cojones.
If you got the Jerry Jones,
that's right.
Then you go for it.
Hey, you know what? McCarron's got no problems in the world because they can't eat him. So listen, hey, tomorrow we have our Sits of the Week. We also have a special guest, Nando DeFino, one of our favorite people in the industry for many years, will be joining us on the show to chat just about this week, about the playoffs,
talk
about
some matchups,
some
waivers.
Who knows? Who knows what will come up?
And after waivers,
from the Fantasy Network, by the way.
Ketchup, mustard,
food. Honestly, if we talk food with Nando, I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah. Also, tomorrow waivers will have processed in our League of Record, and we'll do what we did last week and post the picture of Andy and ours lineups.
Oh yeah,
let you guys vote on it. See who's gonna win. That's gonna be a tough matchup.
But I'm gonna post mine with Rawls still in there and Jonathan Stewart.
I'm gonna post my lineup.
Isn't it funny in fantasy what we do? Yeah, I'm moving on, by the way. Sorry.
You can vote on who I will.
Yeah, who are you playing in your not playing anymore league?
not
It's
playing.
funny
I'm
how
not
in
playing
fantasy
anybody
I've
in our league.
repeated the fact that Rawls has been knocked out so many times to myself because I'm coping. This is, you go through.
You're prepping for a loss.
You're prepping for a loss. You're making rationale for your own defeat so you can live with it. That's why I do it.
Hey, I lost Mark Ingram and Greg Olson, so I think maybe Greg Olson's probably going to play.
If you
but if
lost
he doesn't,
Greg Olson, you probably should have mentioned it during the giant fantasy football show we just had.
hey, you know what?
We didn't think that happened.
No, we're still on this episode, and this is actually a hot
You're
tip.
actually an analyst.
This is a hot tip.
Hot
If you have
topic.
Greg Olson, you should probably grab Ed Dixon.
Totally disagree.
Why
In the world would you do that?
Because
Why not grab Will Tye?
Well-
why not grab Austin Seferian-Jenkins or Zach Miller as your backup in case he doesn't go?
because they use that role, and I think they're going to keep the same offense. I think Greg Olson's going to be out there, and so I don't think it's going to happen. But if you have him and you're worried, it just lets you, flip that switch.
Well, I admit you can't play Austin Seferian-Jenkins because he's Thursday, but I would much rather trust the guy who has an offensive role like Richard Rodgers than I would.
Yes, me too.
Dixon,
I
so-
would. Richard Rodgers would be my number one guy.
All right. Wait, he'd be your what?
Be my number one guy.
All right. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for listening. Check out jointhefoot.com. Join our fantasy football community. Talk to you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Don't forget to visit us on the web at www.thefantasyfootballers.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.